In today's fact or fiction, fact or fiction, this house is going to sell itself, do just as good doing it by myself as I would, even better than if I hired a realtor. Fact or fiction? This is Steve, realtor / real estate agent with the Malone Realty Group and EXP Realty. All right, so the next video in this series of fact or fiction, this was prompted by somebody I ran into the other day. They brought up the question of their house is getting ready to go on the market, and they asked the question of, all right, the house is going to go on the market, and they basically said, you know what, this house is going to sell itself. So I'm not worried about a realtor. I'm not worried about listing, and I'm not worried about any of that. The house in this market is going to sell itself. So, fact or fiction? I admit, slightly biased, being that I am a licensed realtor and been doing this for 4 years. But yeah, I'm going to go with fiction on that one. Okay, I believe, and again, I get to do the fact or fiction because it's my channel. You can start your own channel if you don't agree with me. But the fact or fiction is, I believe if you hire a real estate agent, go backwards. Why would you sell your house yourself for sale by owner? Why would you sell your house yourself? Because you think you're gonna net more money. You're gonna do it with less hassle of having a realtor and how to deal with a realtor, and you're gonna do it quickly. Get in, get out, nobody gets hurt. So those are all three of those things. That's why you do it for sale by owner. That's why you wouldn't hire a realtor. I suggest by hiring a realtor, you will net more money. Yes, you have to pay a realtor commission. The realtor is going to more than make up that commission. They're going to net you more money than if you did it yourself. Stats bear that out from the National Association of Realtors. Number two, headache. You hire a realtor to handle the headache and take over the time. Time is one of those assets that you will have a finite amount of. If you could offshoot that time to somebody else and pay them for it and actually still make more money on the deal, would you do that? Yes, you would do that. All right. So again, hassle, time. The realtor handles that. You don't have to worry about that. And number three is the length of time that's going to happen. The realtor, we're trained in our team. What we do is we get you in the perfect position to net you the most money as quickly as possible with as little headache as possible. That's the goal every time we put a house on the market. Okay, we've got a proven and repeatable system to get that done. So there's 5 reasons, and each one of these reasons has probably another 4 or 5 sub reasons under it, but 5 reasons why listing the home with a professional is a better idea than doing it yourself. Okay, again, I'm slightly biased because I do it for a living, but I think that after going through this, if you want to talk about it and say, hey, this is why I don't think that that's true, give me a call, 470-233-4409. We love talking about real estate. We love talking about, the selling of houses, the marketing. And we really love the mechanics of the whole deal. It's why we do it. So, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. But keep in mind, the machine is built to eliminate all that headache for our clients, to eliminate all that and make them more money. So let's talk about it. Top 5 reasons. Number 1, you got to prep the house to sell it, to list it, to have it ready for the pictures. So you got to prep the house, okay? You hire a realtor. The realtor, as part of his or her strategy, is going to come into the house, take a look at it, and say, let's do this, let's do that, let's not do this, let's not do that. Their stager is going to come in and say, why don't we move this? Let's get rid of that. Let's bring this in. We got landscapers that can come and do this and that. We've got painters. We got this and that. We're going to, because we've done it so often, we know what the house is supposed to look like when it goes on the market. We know what we should be doing to get it on the market. We're going to have you in a position where the house is going to look the 100% part when it goes on the market. If you're doing it yourself, you are either guessing based on what we've seen on, HGTV or something like that, or number 2, you may hire somebody anyway to come over and help you stage the house. So either way, are you in a position where the house looks exactly the way it needs to look to maximize the number of eyeballs that are going to look at it and really take advantage of the market that you're in? All right, that's number 1. I think the realtor is going to do a better job of helping you get ready. Number 2, you got to market the house. All right, if you do for sale by owner, a lot of folks post it on the Z site. Going to say it, but the Z site, or they go on for sale by owner, a for sale by owner website.com, org, net, whatever it is. So one of those sites is going to go out there. Sometimes they'll go and even put it on one of those FMLS or Georgia MLS only sites where it's only, they put it on the MLS so you don't have to worry about it. The problem with that is a lot of those companies only put it on the Georgia MLS. They don't put it on the FMLS. It costs a little bit of money to put it on the FMLS, so they don't put it on the FMLS. FMLS covers more of the metro Atlanta area. Georgia MLS really covers the whole Georgia area. Problem is, most of the people looking at Metro Atlanta are looking on the FMLS. Their searches are on there. As a buyer's agent, I'll be 100% honest with you. It's very rare that I set people up on a search on the Georgia MLS. It's always on the FMLS. Always on the FMLS. So if you go in one of those services that only goes on Georgia MLS, you're missing out on a lot of buyers. So don't believe that that's getting you in front of everybody. Number two, there are homes that list with those services only sell about 50 to 60% of the time on average. Homes with realtors that are on that FMLS or Georgia MLS sell 90 to 95% of the time. So it's not just the MLS that sells it. It's a realtor that sells it. So keep that in mind. That being said, it's the marketing of the house. If you do that, that's all they're going to do is list it on the MLS. If you work with a realtor, what's a realtor going to do? We network with other agents that are looking in the area. We push it to social media sites through paid advertising, like through Facebook. We're pushing it on YouTube with the drone video that we do. There's all these different things. We do the open house. We do circle calls around the neighborhood. We door knock. Everything that we need to do to get the word out that house is out there. Okay, so that's the other thing. We are marketing it at a much higher level than it would be otherwise. Number three, correct pricing. Okay, we've seen for sale by owners who have priced way too high, and we've seen them that have priced actually way too low. You got to know what the correct pricing is. And what we're talking about with the correct pricing is what's the pricing that's going to get me a whole bunch of people looking at the house and get me offers and get me multiple offers. We kind of know what a market price is. I mean, I think everybody knows what the market price is. So let's say it's a house. Everything in the neighborhood is selling like around $350, let's say. Some of them are going $340, some of them are going $360. So $350 is probably, let's say, a good price. Seller wants to sell it for $375 and see what they can get. Well, the problem with the see what they can get is if everybody's selling for $340 to $360 and you come in as a for sale by owner and go for $375, the very first thing, if I'm working with a buyer that wants a for sale by owner, the very first thing I'm going to say is we need to bring the price down because you're not paying a listing agent. So you're saving 3%. We want in on those savings too. So we've got to bring the price down, number one. Number two, I'm a professional negotiator, being that I've been doing this for 4 years. This person is selling their house potentially for the first time in 7 or 8 years. We're going to negotiate that price down. We're going to bring it down, okay? If not, what's going to happen is that price is going to sit there at $375 for a month, okay? And let's say in a month they say, all right, now we'll drop the price. After a month, in this market that we're in, and we're at the end of 2021, if that house has sat there for a month and has not gone under contract, what's the first thing you think as a buyer? There's something wrong with the house. So what happens? You drop the price down to around $360, $350, where the house was supposed to be at the first point. And as you do that, somebody else comes along and lists the house, same neighborhood, at $360. So you got your house that's been on the market for a month at $360. This is a brand new sparkly house, just came on the market at $360. Just knowing that, all other things being equal, which one's the more likely one to sell? The one that just came on the market, because the one that's been on the market for a month, might be something wrong with that house because it hasn't sold yet. All right, so keep that in mind. Pricing is very important, number one. Number two, if you overprice it, it may not appraise. And yes, some people are bringing extra money for appraisals, things like that. You got to put yourself in a position where you're getting enough offers and enough good offers to where some of those are going to bring money or extra money to cover that appraisal gap. Okay, so if you're way overpriced, you're not going to get enough offers to guarantee that. If you're closer to the market price, you're more likely to get offers a little bit higher, and some of them are going to cover that appraisal gap. So keep that in mind. What's the fair market value? You want to be somewhere around that. If you want to test the waters, there's the potential that you're actually going to net less money because you're going to be chasing the market back down if you don't get offers on the house. All right, that's number 3. Number 4, negotiation. As we talked about, that's what we do. Professional negotiators. We've been doing it for 4 years. In the last, career-wise, I've done about 100% list price to sales price. During the Corona pandemic, we were at about 105 to 106% list price to sales price. So what that means is, if we listed for 300, we sold it for about 315 to 320. Okay, so we've been getting way above asking price for all of our people. That's across the board, since everything started. So what helps us get to that point? It's through, again, the correct pricing. It's through the staging. It's through the marketing. It's through the pictures. It's through the open houses. It's through creating this feeding frenzy of people that come in. They know there's a bunch of buyers that are in there putting in a bunch of offers. They've got to get their offers in, get a bunch of offers, and you're going to pick the best one. Okay. When that comes, then it becomes our time to negotiate and try and get the best deal possible. Maybe they're asking for something. We want to waive it out. We don't want people asking for stuff or asking for too much stuff. We're willing to be reasonable, but at the same time, if you got 20 offers, we have a lot more strength when it comes to negotiation. Then you have to worry too, once you get under contract, then you got to go through inspections. You got to go through appraisals. Inspections is another negotiation. They're going to come back and say, we want to fix this, this, and this. Then we say, why are we going to fix this and this when we've got all these people? We'll only fix this. And again, it's another negotiation that we're used to doing. We know how to do it. We protect our people's money and try and keep them from paying too much in closing costs to in lieu of those fixes. And then appraisal as well. If the appraisal comes in low, man, we go to it. We dig up the appraisal. We look and see, and is there any room to potentially move this appraisal up? It may not always work, but we still get in there and we pull up other houses that have sold and say, look, there's this, and this. Can you take a look at this? We fight. And we know how to do that, how to get with the appraisal if the appraisal's low, things like that. So that's part of it. Number 5, we get you to closing. We've got a proven and repeatable system. We do this over and over and over and over again. We've got a great behind-the-scenes person here, my transaction coordinator. Hannah does an amazing job of taking everything, once it goes under contract, being sure that the lending is in place, being sure that the lawyer is ready, the lawyer has everything that they need, the lender's pulling all the docs that they need. We walk it from closing from under contract all the way to closing. And there's certain tick marks that we have to hit, and we hit all of them. Things that you don't have to worry about. If you're doing it yourself, you've got to worry about all of that. You've got to ask yourself, has the appraisal come in? If it came in low, what are my legal options? Like, what can I do? What's the time frames? Things like that. If I get to closing and the buyer decides that they need another week, how can I protect myself to be sure it's not going to be longer? What is the unilateral right to extend closing? What is that? It's a very good question. A lot of sellers don't know what that is. So there are all these things that you have to be prepared for when you go under contract to get it to closing. Again, can you sell your house? Yes. Could you sell your house and get a really good deal? Yes. From what we've seen, okay, again, I'm totally biased because we do this for a living, but from what I've seen, if you take somebody, they're selling a house for $350 for sale by owner, they're going to get it for $350, okay? Maybe $352, maybe $348, something like that. But if everything's done right and it's listed for $350, we can get the $365, $370, depending on where it is. And then you're paying what? An extra, whatever percent, 2 to 3%, let's say, to have a listing agent on average. So you're saving, so you're going to pay an extra, let's say, $7,000 to $8,000, $9,000, something like that, to make an extra 10 to 15. So you pay less, you pay like 8 to 9, and you make 10 to 15, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to have the headache. You don't have to worry about scheduling a photographer to come out. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. So again, that's another reason. So those are the 5 reasons. Again, prep the house, market the house, correct pricing, negotiating, get it to closing. Those are all 5 things that we do. We do them all the time. We have a proven and repeatable system to get all those things done. We're here to work. So again, that's fact or fiction. We say fiction, hire a realtor. And look, you got a realtor right here. give me a call. Let me see what I can do to help you out. 470-233-4409. This is Steve, Malone Realty Group, eXp Realty. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.